Look, guys, I apologize for the lateness of the video. Um, I just had to make a quick video sort of in response to what's going on with Donald Trump's Venezuela project and sort of the whole foreign policy of America since Bush. It seems to me, I've thought about it a lot. It seems to me that we've got into a desperate mode that we're kind of like we're desperately doing colonialism. It's like we feel we have a sense of decline, and so now in reaction, we're doing desperate colonialism. And so, I think the thing to focus on is the future of where America has the comparative advantage, and that's the real estate and the resources. So, it's like pull all those bases from the world. Like listen to Donald Trump and change that $500 billion of military spending into the space industrial complex. The space industrial complex for those guys can have way, 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 way more money to be spent. There doesn't have to be arms spending for just fuck all reasons to get people paid. We can spend that on space. We can get people paid for to do space programs. So think about that. And that would be for all of people. So that's a much more productive investment, in my opinion, anyway. That's like a real win-win right there. Just retooling the military industrial complex into the space industrial complex and having them spend a shit ton of money so that they still make the same money and the spending is almost limitless there. So win-win. And the thing is, we want to create a positive trade relationship with China. The Chinese are going to have all the money from the manufacturing and the products. We want to attract their income into our real estate. And with that money, we're creating big social nets. For the 70% of people, you're going to create housing, social housing, cost control on food, energy, transportation, education, people's basic needs. You're going to create national systems to take care of it. And then it's going to continually lower the cost of operation for the government in order to maintain a quality system that serves more and more people, that we can absorb more immigrants. So basically, we're creating a living capacity at a low cost via government intervention. And then, because everything is doing so well for the majority of people, you could then attract the investment from Asia that are now going to buy up your real estate, and the government can price it in a way that they're going to maximize the return, or the companies that are selling the real estate are going to be taxed, and they're going to be selling multi-million-dollar estates for, foreigners for the whole world, and there's so much room to do that. North America has so much room, so it's like we put up our real estate for sale to the world. That's a source of income that can support our economy indefinitely. That we have That's such an advantage. There's like 3 billion people in the world. Between China and India, you add Indonesia, that's another billion almost. Like that. It's a lot of people in the world looking for places to live, and North America has an abundance of that. So we need to use that to our advantage. So, and because you're lowering the cost of taking care of people's basic needs all the time, the income that you're generating from these new real estate sales is exceeding, the cost of operating the rest of your economy to support all your people. So that's kind of where I see the story for North America. I think, Donald Trump, he's a real estate guy. He doesn't have to be tripping out. He doesn't have to be acting colonial. He doesn't have to be the colonial master. He can be the real estate salesman for the world, basically, where it's like, look, we understand they're going to be buying up a lot of real estate. And it's like, okay, how do we maintain relations for the long run so we can maximize the amount of money we can get off of our land? I mean, the amount of units you can make out of in the center of the country, say, where, all those states that are just empty, vast amounts of land, you can build into the sky towers and you can sell off units in those. How much money you can make in North America just like figuring out how to market the real estate to the world. So you're going to have, and as long as that social net brings up the quality of the cities, it maintains its desirability. And when the cities maintain their desirability, then the money pours in from the east where they're generating tons of money. So then we get the money, which then supports our economy. So it's easy. We don't have to go to war with anybody. We can save all that money on those bases. Like Donald Trump, he was saying, save $500 billion on military spending. That was the correct instinct. Throw it into the space program, So, yeah, guys, I hope we realize that colonialism is out of fashion. Like, when we had a revolution to get away from England, we were like, no way are we ever going to have like an oligarchic, monarchic system. So, and now, it's almost like there's been a revolution undone. It's almost like we've turned right back into the British Empire, but now that's out of fashion. So it's like we have to reinvent ourselves as a nation to be true to the revolution in a way. And in my sense, that means that the government is going to get stronger. You're going to have like people that are more qualified instead of like, hey, they afforded the campaign to get into power. Like in the Congress is going to have actual power instead of symbolic power and just getting bribed by the business interests that create these incoherent policies for a government that's meant to take care of the national interest. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And, things can be challenging. Sometimes you don't see the picture right away that it's like, oh, but then it's like at other times it's like, there's agreement. I mean, there's agreement that I think that, America doesn't need to war basically anywhere in the world today, that it can basically spend way more money on the space program and have that arms industry get paid all kinds of money, and it'd be productive for the world. We need to do asteroid defense. That's a real thing. I think it's some kind of karmic phenomenon when we're warring on Earth and we're not paying attention to the common threat, that then now the threat of the common threat becomes greater. So, anyway, guys, I gotta go to sleep, and I appreciate you watching this video. I can't wait to see you in another one, and keep the hope alive and keep thinking about how North America has an abundance. We have a lot of wealth. We don't have to use military force to clog up the world that just wants to be free. That's like in an age of decolonization. Think of it in those terms. Like, if America were to endear itself to the world, it would just like pull all its military assets from the world, knows it's fully safe with nuclear weapons, and then just like use that money to build itself and build the space program. Wow, it's like it would be a much, much, much better North America, and then a much better world. And and then we're slowly over time, we're going to become one global nation, one global army, one global government that guarantees a socialism to the world. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Can't wait to see you in another episode.